Hey guys, how's it going? Nick here, and during the playtest yesterday, I was able to obtain the schematics for the Excavator power armor in Fallout 76. During the playtest, I was mainly focusing on the main story and seeing how far I could get, and I was able to see a terminal that kind of led me towards where I could find the schematics. So I'm going to detail them out for you guys. So if you're not looking to get anything spoiled, you can kind of skip ahead over to this part and you can kind of see just where the schematics are. Alright, now during the main quest, you kind of have to head towards the ash heap and you need to join the fire breathers. They're a branch of the responders that are built of mostly firemen who went in to save the people in the wastes of the ash heap. Once you finish the final exam to join the fire breathers, you have to register yourself into one of the fire responders terminals. You now have access to a couple new messages. Some of the entries in here have to do with the backstory and a little bit of lore of the fire breathers, but one in particular is really interesting. This one is titled Excavator Power Armor, and it reads, "Check-in from Madigan's latest field trip yielded a tip on some new gear. Rumor is that Garrahan's Mining Excavator Armor, while maybe not the mining method of the future, was actually a seriously rugged hunk of machinery. Smoke, fire, gas resistant, and apparently the Garrahans kept all of the tech to make them in their very own basement. Any fire breathers that find themselves in the vicinity of Bramwell should pop up into the old Garrahan HQ, see if they can find any other old suits lying around." Opening up this terminal message actually unlocks the map location for you. Once you exit out of the terminal, you actually find an interesting holotape to go with it.
You don't mind if I record?
You're Captain, Melody. Don't need my permission.
So how's it look out there, Hank?
Well, I found some more survivors. Started shooting at me the second they saw me, like the rest.
Sounds about par for the course. Seems like there's not a sane mine south of Mount Blair. Anything else?
Ash is piling up faster than we expected. But going by the maps the earlier teams did, it at least doesn't seem to be spreading anymore.
So, we've only lost Welsh, Beckley, Lewisburg, and everything around them. Little blessings, I suppose.
Oh, and actual good news. Garrahan Mining.
Ha! Been a long time since I've heard good news and Garrahan Mining set back to back.
No kidding. But that excavator armor they made ruined the company. Rumor is it's tough as nails, and they still got the plans on site. Could you imagine what a patrol would be like if we could figure out how to make those things?
Yeah, locals would hopefully be a lot less inclined to shoot first.
Bingo. You give me a day or two. I can head back down there, see what I can do.
No, Garrahan can wait. You need rest. Head up to Morgantown. That excavator armor will still be there. Now go.
Finding locations in Fallout 76 could be a little bit difficult. One, because the map is so huge, and two, you unlock a whole bunch of locations at random times, and they're these little gray icons. So down here at the bottom of the map, kind of at the end of the ash heap at the start of Savage Divide, you find Garrahan's Mining HQ. So now we can start heading off into that general direction. You don't necessarily need to do the main mission in order to unlock this set of gear. You can kind of just head to that area and find it yourself. But be warned, heading over there can be pretty difficult. I ran into a couple swarms of super mutants and they were pretty tough for me, and I was pretty high level. But if you have a squad with you, this should be no problem. Upon reaching the Garrahan Mining HQ, you are greeted with a few Scorchy boys, but they aren't too much of a hassle. You can actually head out front, and there is a little poster that actually unlocks a quest for you, but you need to be level 25. I suspect you could do this quest and you get the armor unlocked for you, but you can actually head on inside here and you can get the schematics for yourself. Now, walking through, this is an actually pretty interesting area. It's pretty dark. It's an old decrepit facility. There's actually a few terminals here that show you a little bit of backstory on how the excavator armor came to be. This is the second terminal entry in Grahann's terminal, and it reads, "It's been a week since I issued the Man vs. Machine challenge to Daniel Horthright, and most of the company seems to think it was a mistake. My son Bryce is behind me. He's always stuck by my side. But my eldest Bill thinks I'm crazy. He never dares say that to my face. But I hear the rumors and the water cooler talk. The team down in R&D have done a hell of a job with the excavator power armor, but at the end of the day, they've warned me we're still depending on the human element to drive the units. They say a human makes mistakes, but I say a robot malfunctions. Normally, that would level the playing field, with one important distinction. A robot doesn't care. It has no drive, no will to win. It only does what it's told and not an iota more. That's why we're going to win." This is the third entry, and it reads, "Today's the day. Man versus machine. It's about to begin. I couldn't sleep a wink last night, but at least my husband, Brighton, was home to keep my spirits up. Poor Harold. I called him maybe every hour on the hour at the lab to make sure every screw was tightened and every axle was greased. He assures me that the excavator power armor is ready and we've got the best men lining up to run it, but I still can't get this knot out of my stomach. I've sunk almost everything Garrahan has into this project. If we lose, I honestly don't know how we'll financially recover. I wonder how well Daniel Horthright slept." The fourth journal entry reads, "It's funny how a minute's difference in numbers can completely shatter your world. Why did we lose? How could we have been so unlucky? Hornwright's damn auto miner performed flawlessly. Not a single failure, not a single stall. And our men, I'm so proud of them. They worked until they could barely stand. Had they not been in the powered suits, I'm certain they would have fallen over with exhaustion. They tried, but it just wasn't enough. Now I must decide what to do. Do I close the doors? Do I pack up and move the operation to the Adirondacks? I have a lot of thinking to do." There's the phone. I'm guessing it's Daniel. Time to fall on my sword. The fifth and last terminal entry reads like this. "Someone once said the best time to plant a tree was 20 years ago. The second best time is now." I'm sure whoever came up with that quote never ran a mining company, but their words ring true. I can't give up. I can't throw away everything I worked so hard to achieve. Garrahan Mining will push through this dark time and will rise again. In an effort to increase mining output, I'm seriously considering Daniel's offer to lease some of their auto miner units, but I'm not certain if it's the right thing to do. I must weigh our financial responsibilities against the welfare of my employees. I've also started to think it's time that I step down. The excavator power armor program has been scrapped, millions of dollars have gone to waste, and there's no one to blame but myself. I just have to decide if I'm ready to hand over the reins to Bryce, or if he's ready to accept them. So the power armor was created by the Garrahan Company to combat the automation that was happening across West Virginia. All the workers were being left jobless after these auto workers were taking their place. And Garrahan wanted to create a set of power armor that would let humans do the same work as the auto miners. They did a publicity stunt called the Man vs. Machine Challenge, hoping that this would kind of swing in their favor, but unfortunately, machines won. If you exit the terminal and head out into the office, into the lower levels, you're going to find the R&D department. After dealing with a few more Scorchy boys, you head on in and explore around and you find a holotape.
I can't believe we lost. We had one chance to prove that our excavator power armor could beat the Hornwright auto miner, and we blew it. Why Vivian came up with her ridiculous challenge is beyond me. She never even consulted with us. Just rolled it out there like a prize fight. The newspapers got a hold of it. Everything blew out of proportion. Now we're the laughingstock of the mining industry. I mean, who in their right mind would buy any products from us after that? No one. So, here I am, staring at the phone, waiting for the inevitable call to shut the R&D department down. Vivian had all our chips on this project, and Garrahan Mining has wiped out. I wonder if Hornwright is hiring.
After hearing this, you can head over to Harold Frost's terminal. He seems to be the project manager behind the excavator power armor. And you can find the blueprints right there, simple as that. Now, the personal logs are more or less the same. He's talking about struggling making the armor, and then once he figures it out, he's super excited about how everything turned out, but eventually everything falls apart. One thing I did find interesting in the terminal is the registration station, and it says the EXC-17 excavator suit uses patented ore sniffing technology developed in conjunction with the West Tech Corporation. Helmet sensor calibration protocols are proprietary information and require a registration interface with Garrahan's mainframe. So what I think this means is this excavator power armor is going to have a special ability where you're going to be able to locate ore around the map a lot easier. Now, I don't really know how this works because I wasn't quite able to craft the power armor in the time given to me. I actually discovered this place about 30 minutes left of the beta. But you can see the core crafting components here. As you can see, I think it's going to be a late game power armor because the main ingredient in this is the black titanium, and I was only able to come across 2 pieces. One of them was in an unmarked mine. The other one was off a Deathclaw that I had fought. So again, I'm not quite sure how rare this black titanium is, but I think this armor is going to be pretty hard to obtain. But there you have it, guys. This is how you get the schematics for the excavator power armor. I know a lot of people had been criticizing Bethesda because they were adding power armors into the game when this was supposed to be a prequel, and they didn't quite explain how this came to be. But I think the backstory behind this is pretty interesting, and it fits very well. What do you guys think? I'm really interested in hearing your guys' opinion, and I'm going to be posting a lot more Fallout 76 footage. I recorded the whole 9 hours of beta time, so I have a lot of things to go through. Hope you guys enjoyed the video. This has been Nickaroo. Have a good day.